Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of We Chat Tech. Today, we are here with Trung Pham, who is the founder and CEO of RYSE. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and how it all started?
For sure. So we are a smart home company, and we create devices to motorize and automate existing installed window shades. So the two products that are currently in the market, one is the RYSE Smart Shade, which is a little gadget you install on the window frame, and it controls the beaded chains of your window shade. So think of it like a motorized pulley system for window shades that have beaded chains. And then the second product is the RYSE Smart Curtain, which installs on a curtain rod or curtain track, and that allows you to motorize any curtains. We do have a third product in the market, not in the market, but in production, starting in June. It is a product to motorize the tilting of blinds. So if you have traditional blinds with the wand,
Mhm.
then our little gadget would fit in between the wand and the headrail, and it will allow you to motorize it. So the general thesis for the company is creating a suite of products within the smart blinds and smart shade space.
Great, great. And I want to dig a little bit further into the past, Trung. So, how did this company start?
So we started when I moved into an apartment, and I wanted motorized shades. I was a big tech guy. I loved gadgets, um, and I already had like four windows, floor to ceiling, with the beaded chains. And when I went to the designers and dealers, I asked them, "Hey, I want to get my shades motorized." They said it would not be possible. I'd actually have to replace them with brand new motorized shades. And I thought to myself, that's pretty silly. Isn't there a motorized pulley system? That was the very general idea I had in my head. And I said, no, just give me a motor. Let me install it on the window frame and, let it control the chains like a motorized pulley. And they said that product didn't exist. I didn't believe them, so I went home and Googled it, and sure enough, it didn't exist. I'm like, how come no one has thought of this? It's such a simple idea. And the more I looked into the industry, the more I understood how shades got motorized, the supply chain, how a manufacturer of a motor gets their product into a window blind to the end consumer. So I thought it was a great opportunity. So it's really a story of me building the product for myself, really to regulate the indoor comfort levels of my condo. Got super hot during the summer, so I wanted to be able to automate it during specific weather conditions when I left the condo, things like that. But yeah, that was really the story, creating a product that I wanted for myself that didn't exist.
Nice. And we've been working alongside you and your staff for a number of years now. I can't remember how we first got in touch, but I think it was probably us seeing your device online and kind of getting tired of what wasn't available really for our members and just kind of trying to find a solution. Yours was the only one out there that did the pulley system that you're talking about for the beaded chains. So we did appreciate seeing it, and we do appreciate everything you've done for our members over the years. You've helped us out tremendously in getting those out to our members, and there's been great feedback. Um, but is there a reason you guys are interested in working so close with companies like TFL and our members?
Um, First and foremost, I think it's a great product for independent living, even the elderly, the retirement space. I think for us, the boomer generation, they're all retiring, and I'm looking at my parents, my family. They don't have the same mobility as they used to. Um, they're getting slower, they're getting weaker, they need a lot more help. So I think this product is great for that type of audience, our parents or whatnot. Um, and I think obviously it's a good cause. Like we want to be able to help others that require a little more independent living and whatnot. So when I first started the development of the product, I never thought of that until I dug more into it and understood how motorized shades was helping um, other people that needed a lot more help with lifting heavy blinds or trouble with mobility. Um, and for us, helping organizations like yourself is a great cause for us, and it's more than happy to continue helping.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Just the follow up. How are your parents enjoying the Rise smart shades? Are they all over their house?
So my parents have blinds, so we're going to be installing the new product in the smart blinds.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a progression. But my sister does have shades, and like she loves it. It's a big window, like floor to ceiling, like think of traditional patio door type of windows.
Right.
And then myself, I have it throughout my entire condo as well. I use the voice control like every single day, like opening the shades every morning. Hey Alexa, open the shades. Hey Alexa, close the shades. So that's what I
Yeah.
use it primarily for. But it's one of those things that you don't think about until it's installed, and you realize how convenient it is, because even my shades, they're behind my sofa, so it's going to be hard for me to like walk around and open and close it. There's a lot of things in the way. So just having a product like this just makes life a lot more easier.
Yeah. Well, mom and dad will be great testers for you then.
Yeah, for sure.
Product.
And you're absolutely right. It's not always just about like convenience, but actually being able to reach
Yeah,
the shades. Like I know in my office here, I have my computer like set in a bay window, and there's three windows behind the computer here, and you physically can't reach it. So being able to automate them to open and close automatically throughout the day is an absolute game changer.
yeah, I think so too. I think when we were promoting this to hotels as well, right off the bat they were thinking like the ADA rooms, the Americans with Disabilities room. So the rooms that required a little more hardware and whatnot.
Yeah,
So we didn't realize until we started talking to the audience, until organizations like yourself started reaching out, um, in Canada, the US, and even now Australia. So I do think it's one of those great products that people don't really think about, and adds a lot of um, convenience and mobility aspects to everyone's day to day.
absolutely. So, how do you operate all of your products? Like, I'm assuming it's through all of the common voice assistants. Is that correct?
Yeah. So again, we have these two products. One is the smart shade, and one is the smart curtain. And if I go through the smart shade first, it takes maybe 10 minutes to install each if you're pretty handy. Um, it installs on the window frame. You loop the beaded chain through. You kind of ratchet down, and you set the top and bottom position on the device. It can be controlled with the mobile app, where you could set schedules. So you could say, hey, 7 a.m. I want it up, 8 p.m. I want it down. Um, we just recently released a sunrise sunset feature, so it could sync to your time zone and open and close right before sunrise, right after sunrise, or at a specific time, delta to sunrise and sunset. So that's a cool feature that a lot of people are requesting. And then obviously voice control. Voice control is amazing. That's what I use. Um, Now the cool thing about our device is that we also have on-device buttons. So if a guest is up close and personal and they don't have the app, or they don't realize it works with their voice, they could just press the up and down arrows on the device.
Nice.
For the smart curtain, takes less than a minute to install. It just hangs on the rod or the track, and very similar. You can control with the app. You can control with voice, and the manual control we have with Smart Curtain is actually called tug control. So if someone's in the house and they don't realize that it's automated, and they start tugging the curtain, it'll start moving.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of controlling them, I think you guys also have a smart button, don't you? And does that
yeah.
work with both
So
the curtain and the shade?
it does. It does. So we have a Gen 1 smart button, which I'm sure you guys have tested. We have a Gen 2 smart button coming out. So we should have some of those prototypes out, and happy to send you guys a bunch of them to test. The difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 is that Gen 1 is a single button. So you would press it to move in one direction, press it again to pause, and press it again to reverse. Gen 2 is up and down arrows. So one small button with 2 up and down, and then you can just press either or to have the shades go up or down.
That might be good for a few of our members who don't want that voice control in their home, but still want to be able to control some smart devices. So that might be a good option.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely send you a few to test out when we get them ready.
Something I really like of your product that I found others don't have is the ratcheting system for the chain. And
Yes.
that's really important here in Canada because as the weather changes and the window frame moves ever so slightly, there might be either too much tension on that chain or not enough. And so instead of having to physically remove the hardware to readjust it periodically, you're able to do it on the fly, which is amazing.
Yeah, we realized early on in product development that we needed the chains really taut, so we created that ratcheting system. And in the latest model, you could obviously remove it up or down through the ratchet system. And another thing we realized after a few thousand units of sales is the chains also stretch over time.
Right.
So having the ability to continue ratchet down and tighten it over every year or so, it does help the consumer as well.
And not our techs, but other people only measure once. So you have a little bit of room to
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
You
I
do have some
appreciate it.
slack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was actually able to install this. So I've only done one. Now our techs have done many of the RYSE blinds, RYSE smart shades, and so simple. I mean, this was over a year ago when I did it, and so easy to install. You install the bracket, click it in place, click in the battery, connect it to your Wi-Fi. It was so easy to do. I appreciated that.
Oh, I hope so. We're trying to make it as easy as possible because it is a DIY product, and unfortunately, a lot of the next generation of Gen Z and Gen Y aren't as handy as our older parents and whatnot. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for all the generations to really install it and adopt it and make it super simple.
So you have a battery, but it can also be plugged in to AC, correct? For the smart
Yes.
shades?
So the smart shades, there's 2 models. One is a plug version, so you don't have to recharge it, and the battery version, it's a small battery pack, custom designed, and that will last up to 6 months on a single charge. And then
Nice.
you would just have to charge it using a micro USB. We are launching a new version of the battery pack, which again we could send you some samples, and the new version charges with a USB-C.
Excellent. So, Trent, what exciting things are you working on?
So we're releasing some cool features. We haven't finalized the name, but it's essentially a location-based automation. So, for example, if you leave your house and you forgot to close the shades, then the shades will recognize that and lower your shades. Um, or if you walk into the room, the shades recognize you're home now, the shades could open. So you could program things like that. Um, I think one of the features, particularly with the location-based automation, is we had some clients that bought our device because they wanted to be able to control it remotely, because in fact they actually had their house broken into when they left their shades open when they left it on vacation.
Right.
So it's little things like this that people don't realize, and we don't realize until it actually happens, that shade automation can be a very important privacy aspect to your everyday life. So that's a cool feature that we're developing. We have the smart blinds, which I'm super excited about launching at the end of this year. And then we have another product that we will be announcing. Can't mention it yet, but we will be announcing it this November.
Awesome. Well, I am so excited to hear about all of the future updates and new products coming down the pipeline. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was very informative, and I know our members really enjoy your product. So thank you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time.